Okay, after you had an agreement with your counterpart in Tanzania, Nape Nnauye, in November 2016, you agreed to have this inclusive roundtable on the issue of the African liberation heritage. Will all the ministers of the SADC regional body be present next week?
There are some who have apologize, but just to take an opportunity then to say to the South Africans, this is a rare opportunity where UNESCO, together with AU on different periods, agreed that we should tell our story as African countries in the mainland and the diaspora of our struggles against colonialism, against apartheid. And Tanzania is the convener of the entire project, and we are excited that a generation, our generation, has been given a task which has never happened before. You would know that we have always complained that people write about Africa without our involvement. This time around, we are taking up the challenge.
Okay, besides writing about our road to independence on the African continent, the African liberation struggles against, as you said, forms of repression and oppression like colonialism and apartheid, are there plans, are you foreseeing a future where in the region there'll be a coordinated, for instance, effort around setting up of monuments that would make future generations remember that road to independence and freedom?
We have started then. Actually, we'll be sharing our national chapters. All the organizations, I mean the countries, will be sharing their national chapters. But we also link this with a challenge we want to take up of having World Heritage sites. You would know that across the world, you have 1,073 heritage sites, and in Africa we have only 93 out of that 1,073. So you can see that there is a huge gap. Europe alone has plus 500 such sites. So we still have a lot to do to identify these sites for us as Africa, so that we also tell our story in full. So you will definitely see as we go forward, as we had started, those sites which depicts who we are as a people on our continent.
Now, Mr. Minister, just to find out, I mean, cost-wise, who is each country going to be responsible for budgeting on how this really becomes a reality? Because at the end of it all, you're going to have to spend some money or invest some money in this effort.
Absolutely. So far, we are looking at how do we collaborate. But currently, we will be sharing our own national chapters. Each country, putting forward its own budget, putting aside and investing in some of this, as we have started in South Africa, that started in other countries and so on. But we want to give, from the SADC perspective, we want to give a comprehensive picture of what is happening in SADC. How is this liberation heritage route going to be connected? For instance, in South Africa, we are connected with a number of countries, Matola, as you know, Mbuzini for President Samora Machel, Quito, Carnivale, and many other areas which connect all of us here in the SADC region. So we'll be sharing that and seeing how do we take that forward individually as countries, but collectively as SADC region.
Incidentally, I visited the Matola Museum at the weekend. I was in Mozambique, and I guess we need to create more awareness across the region as well for people of our region to be able to know where these places are into the future. Thank you very much, Mr. Mthethwa. We'll try and follow up on this after your meeting next week as ministers to see exactly what resolutions that meeting is going to take.